我们用热烈的掌声欢迎出席本节主题活动的贵宾入场。
To enter the conference venue. Welcome the leaders and VIP guests to enter the venue.
女士们、先生们，让我们用热烈的掌声欢迎出席本节主题活动的贵宾入场。
Respected leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning. Welcome to the Clean Energy Session. Under the leadership of the dual carbon targets, energy revolution is accelerated, reshaping the global energy sector and the supply chain development new landscape. This Clean Energy Session will focus on the international open cooperation platform of CISCE, with green driving the future transformation and upgrading of energy supply chain and China's strengths. We explore the upgrading of China's industry and the supply chain of the energy sector and create the new opportunities for clean energy and green energy, and it has showcased the determination and responsibility of China. I want to share with you the leaders present here. Mr. Liu Jiannan, Vice Chairman of CPIT CCOIC, and Mr. Liang Changxing, Executive Director General for Regulation of the National Energy Administration. Now let's warmly welcome Vice Chairman of CCPIT CCOIC, Mr. Liu Jiannan, to deliver the remarks. Welcome. Respected Mr. Liang Changxing, respected General Manager Mr. Huang Yongzhang, Mr. Chen Yanbing, Mr. Li Shaofei. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning. I'm very honored to be here, to meet you all of you here in Beijing, to attend the 4th in China International Supply Chain Expo Clean Energy Session. On behalf of CCPIT, I want to extend my Welcome to all of you. My hearty thanks also go to those who have long supported China's trade promotion and China's supply chain development. President Xi Jinping has highlighted that energy sector is the strategic development issue for China. Chinese government has attached great importance to clean energy. In the 15th five-year plan outline, we highlighted the importance of establishing clean, low-carbon, safe, and efficient new energy system. China is taking proactive actions to achieve carbon neutrality and carbon peak. Yesterday morning, Vice Premier Ding Xuexiang has attended the opening ceremony of the 4th CISCE. He has delivered important remarks. He has highlighted that China has continued to support high-level opening up. This Expo has followed the previous three. Once we focus on energy networks and the energy storage and energy development, from production to supply to transformation to transportation to distribution, the whole industrial chain network. It has highlighted the global clean energy, connectivity, and prosperity and a strong momentum. Today we focus on green driving the future, the upgrading and transformation of China's energy supply chain and China's strengths. We invited foreign and domestic enterprises to gather here to pursue the common development for the future. We hope that you can also explore opportunities here and exchange notes and yield important fruits. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, the global land energy sector has been reshaped. Digitalization and green transformation have been intertwined and accelerated. This transformation is about energy for the future. Clean energy has become an important core to drive our transformation for green development. Decarbonization and green development of industrial chain and supply chain has been important. I want to propose three ideas. First, we follow an innovation-driven, cultivate and develop new quality productive forces. Clean energy sector is about the core technology breakthrough. We hope that domestic and international enterprises focus on PV, solar energy, and wind energy and new energy storage. We focus on the core and the key and critical technology breakthrough. We promote AI and clean energy integration and promote energy supply chain towards high-end green and smart development. Second, we should secure the safe and sound development of the industrial chain and supply chain and create a new ecosystem. The global energy sector is facing the risks of geopolitical risk and trade protectionism. China's business sector and the business community are against different types of protectionism. We dedicate ourselves to energy sector high-level opening up. We hope that energy sector enterprises at home abroad to promote clean energy sector matchmaking and promote industrial chain, innovation chain, and value chain. We create inclusive and mutual beneficial and a win-win new landscape for energy sector with the platform of CISCE. Third, we should promote the mutual recognition of different standards and remove the green barrier. Green barrier and the protectionism have stood in the way of our development. And China's business community has promoted inclusive and mutually beneficial development and energy governance system. We hope that business at home abroad to promote carbon development and a new electric power control system and serve global green transformation and support the development and implementation of the Global Agenda 2030 by UN. During the 15th five-year plan, we should promote green and comprehensive transformation. It's also an important part to promote carbon peak and carbon neutrality. As China's largest trade promotion agency, CCPIT, will continue to promote the energy sector network and enhance the number of circles of friends to provide important platforms of services and trade. Drawing upon strengths of this platform, we enhance consensus, promote cooperation, and enhance energy supply chain and net chain towards the trend of clean and new and green development and protect the common earth for us all. I wish this event a full success, and I wish all of you sound health and every success. Thank you, Mr. Liu, for sharing with us the great ideas. With the fund of this expo, we join hands with all of countries and regions to promote low carbon and clean energy development. It has also showcased China's opening up and our major mission to promote global trade and global clean development. Now let's welcome Mr. Liang Changxing, Executive Director General for Regulation of the National Energy Administration. Welcome. Respected Vice Chairman of CCPIT, CCOIS, Mr. Liu Jinan, respected General Manager, Mr. Huang Yongzhang, respected Mr. Chen Yanbing, respected Mr. Li Shaofei, Vice President, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning. I'm very honored to be invited to participate in the 4th CISCE Clean Energy Session. First of all, on behalf of China Energy Administration, I want to extend my hearty congratulations to this important event. My hearty thanks also go to those who have long supported China's energy sector. Thank you for your support. Currently, the global energy landscape is undergoing profound transformation. Unprecedented in a century, the green and low carbon transformation has become a global consensus. Stability, security, innovation, and the synergy of clean energy supply chains serve as a critical pillar for global energy security and climate governance. This event is themed with green driving the future, transformation and upgrading of the energy supply chain and China's strengths. It is in line with the energy transformation trend. It is of critical importance. China has followed the new development philosophy of innovation, coordination, green and open development and sharing. And clean energy is an important driver for advancing the energy revolution, ensuring energy security, and addressing climate change. We have also established the world's largest and fastest growing renewable energy system and built the most comprehensive new energy industrial chain globally, injecting strong momentum into the global green and low carbon transformation. The capacity for clean energy supply continues to improve. China's utilization scale of non-fossil fuel has ranked first globally for 11 consecutive years, accounting for 21.7% of the total energy consumption. The share of renewable energy in installation of the power accounting for over 60%, making it the dominant component. The installed capacity of the wind and solar power has reached 1.84 billion kilowatts, surpassing that of thermal power and contributing more than half of the global new installations. The operational and under construction nuclear power capacity ranks first worldwide. Advanced energy storage technologies have also achieved large-scale development, with an installed capacity representing about 40% of the whole world total, ranking #1 in the whole world. Breakthroughs have also been made in the continuous advancement of the clean energy technology innovation, key technologies such as China's high-efficiency PV cells, large-scale offshore wind turbines, advanced energy storage system, and hydrogen utilization have also undergone continuous innovation. The entire hydrogen industrial chain ranks among the world leaders. China has also mastered advanced nuclear power technologies, such as Hualong 1 and Guohe 1, as well as the fourth generation high-temperature gas-cooled reactors. The development of smart microgrids and virtual power plants has also accelerated development. With high-value application of AI in the energy sector, China has also deepened the new energy power connection. We have also put in place the green electricity direct connectivity policy to establish a green electricity express lane for both renewable energy and end users. A dual-driven system of green energy consumption mechanism combining responsibility constraints and market incentives have also been established. Guidelines in integrated development of new energy and measures to promote the integration and regulation have also been instituted. In this way, we have reshaped the new energy ecosystem, and China has also enhanced the global development of the new energy, and we have provided over 80% of the world's PV modules and 70% of the wind power equipment. Ultra-high voltage power transmission and advanced nuclear power have become the new name cards for China. The green certificate market has been enjoying growth in both volume and price, with IE 100 unconditionally recognizing China's green certificates. The Belt and Road Initiative Energy Partnership and the Global Clean Energy Partnership have also enjoyed more networks of cooperation, and in this way we can provide new solutions and new capabilities and a new paradigm for the global energy cooperation. Looking at the whole world, geopolitical conflicts have impacted the fossil fuel supply. More countries have realized that the development of clean energy is crucial for energy security. At the same time, we observe that the rise of unilateralism and protectionism, this has also exerted a negative impact on clean energy development. With the new trend and the new changes, we should follow cooperation and enhance the resilience of energy supply chain of clean energy and enhance the energy security. I want to share with you 3 important initiatives. First, we should prioritize the safe and controllable energy system for sustainable development. The stable energy supply is essential for advancing the energy transition. Based on the national energy resources development and our needs, we should adopt the energy transformation and energy restructuring and focus on the production and consumption and sales of the energy system and network. Second, we focus on innovation-driven development and create the green and low-carbon win-win new model. Scientific innovation is a major momentum to promote clean energy development and remove the barriers. And we should enhance clean energy development and cooperation and inside tech, enhance hydrogen and storage and AI plus energy and new frontier breakthroughs and R&D, and promote international cooperation of energy supply chain and energy industrial chain, enhancing clean energy technology and new standards networking, and promote the high caliber of energy utilization of clean energy and global green and low carbon development. Third, we should also enhance open cooperation to build jointly enhance global energy governance. A fair, equal, balanced, and inclusive global energy governance system is essential for achieving sustainable good development and energy cooperation. We should leverage bilateral and multilateral cooperation momentum and foster interaction and coordination and promote the pragmatic and rational and fair cooperation of global energy cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, energy cooperation and energy transformation upgrading is a long-term task. It requires the efforts of all countries and all stakeholders. The road ahead may be long, but we can achieve our goals with perseverance and reach our destination. Through today's meeting, all of the partners and colleagues can enhance our cooperation and understanding and compare notes with each other and work together to build a secure and reliable global clean energy supply chain and jointly contribute to a green and low-carbon future. I wish this event a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liang, for your insightful speech. Your speech grounded in the National Energy Development Strategy and provided a profound interpretation of the direction of energy transition, charting a clear path and boosting confidence in building a clean, low-carbon, safe, and efficient energy system. Thank you for your excellent speeches. Now we proceed to keynote speech session. And during this segment, we will hear insights from several leaders representing national team in the energy sector, share their strategic plans, innovative practices, and development perspectives on green energy transition supply chain. First, please welcome Mr. Huang Yongzhang, General Manager of China National Offshore Oil Corporation. Welcome. Respected Mr. Liu Jiannan, Mr. Liu Changxing, Mr. Li Xiaofei, Chen Yanbing, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to attend the 4th Supply Chain Expo and discuss with colleagues from various sectors the transformation and upgrading of the global energy supply chain. On behalf of China's National Offshore Oil Corporation, I'd like to extend warm congratulations on the successful hosting of the Expo and express my sincere gratitude to CCPIT, CCISCE, and all distinguished guests for your long-term support and concern. Since the first starting 4 years ago, the Chain Expo has become a vital platform for all stakeholders in global industrial and supply chains. The theme of this event aligns closely with the pressing needs of current global energy transition and supply chain resilience enhancement. CNOOC is accelerating its efforts in establishing as a world-class energy resource group with distinct maritime characteristics and is committed to working with global partners to seize opportunities, respond proactively, strengthen collective momentum to jointly safeguard the resilience and stability of the global energy supply chain. Focusing on the theme, I'd like to share 3 insights with you. First, high-level international cooperation is an essential pathway to enhancing the resilience of industrial and supply chains. In recent years, factors such as the escalating Russian-Ukraine conflict, the comprehensive deterioration of Middle East situation, restructuring of international economic and trade order, and frequent extreme weather events has caused significant volatility in global energy markets, imposing greater demands on energy companies to enhance security and controllability of industrial and supply chain. So only by implementing the international development strategy and strengthening broader, deeper forms of external cooperation can we effectively address these risks and challenges. So CNOOC actively participates in the Belt and Road Initiative with overseas oil and gas operations spanning 17 countries and covering a wide range of resources including conventional oil and gas, oil sands, and shale oil and gas. It's China's largest and the world's second largest LNG importer. Our company has leveraged resource network across more than 30 countries and regions. Moving forward, CNOOC is committed to collaborating with global partners to continuously expand cooperation areas, innovative collaboration modes, and foster new growth points for partnerships and contributing more to global energy supply chain. Second, technological innovation and high digital intelligent empowerment are very important requirements for advancing the industrial chain. Energy transition represents a profound strategic transformation shifting from resource-driven to technology-driven and digitally intelligent, which is core logic of breaking free from resource constraints and achieving leapfrog in the value chain. CNOOC has actively tackled world-class exploration and development challenges such as deep water, deep layer, high temperature, and high pressure conditions. The Deep Sea #1 energy station achieved 3 world-class innovations and has awarded first prize of the National Science Technology Progress Award. A series of breakthrough and national strategic assets including sensing system, deep water subsea production system have been successfully deployed. We will comprehensively implementing AI initiative and strengthen the joint efforts to facilitate the smart clean energy supply chain. Third, the integrated development of diverse energy resource represents approach to build a new energy system. Green and low-carbon development is global consensus and inevitable trend, serving as core participant for transformation and upgrading clean energy industry chain. Only by grounding efforts in sustainability and coordinating the clean utilization can we achieve a win-win outcome for both energy security and ecological preservation. CNOOC actively implements the concept of green development, successfully commissioning China's first deep-sea floating wind power platform, the first offshore oil field cluster integrated photo storage, and intensive development of the offshore wind power. Going forward, we committed to collaborate with global partners to further deepen integration of traditional and renewable energy resources, foster innovative maritime energy productive, and inject additional momentum into green transformation of global energy supply chain. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, thinking deeply is our responsibility to stand firm in the ocean connected with the world. Green driving the future is our commitment to drive transformation and lead change. Looking ahead, CNOOC will collaborate with global peers and enterprises across the industrial chain to promote transformation and upgrading of global energy supply. On this occasion, we propose 3 initiatives. First, jointly build a resilient and coordinated energy supply chain. Continue to deepen cooperation with countries along the Belt Road in areas such as oil and gas sources and development, LNG, and maritime infrastructure construction to promote interconnectivity of global energy infrastructure. Second, jointly develop green and low-carbon energy supply chain. Collaboration on breakthroughs in key core technologies such as offshore wind power, deep-sea energy storage, carbon capture, utilization and storage, green hydrogen to collectively advance the clean transformation of traditional energy sources and the large-scale application of renewable energy. Third, establish a shared, open, inclusive energy supply chain leveraging high-end platforms such as Expo. Promote mutual recognition of industrial standards and sharing of development experiences, enabling benefits of clean energy industry to reach more countries and regions. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, let's join hands to forge a new future and forge ahead through challenges, build consensus through pragmatic cooperation, jointly advance global clean energy to greater safety, sustainability, openness, so that every drop of oil, every unit of gas, and every kilowatt-hour of electricity becomes a clean driving force connecting the world and shaping our shared future. Wish the Expo every success. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Huang. CNOOC has leveraged its maritime source advantage and adhered to innovative-driven development, has continuously expanded the potential of blue energy, making a significant contribution to the green development of China's maritime energy. Next, let's welcome Chen Yanbing, Deputy General Manager of Sinopec. Welcome. Respected Mr. Liu Jiannan, Mr. Liang Changxing, Mr. Huang Yongzhang, Mr. Li Xiaofei, and Chen Yanbing, Dear leaders, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to be here to participate in this event and gather with you here to discuss energy transition, explore cooperation, and chart green future together. First of all, on behalf of Sinopec, I'd like to extend warm congratulations on the opening of the Expo and express our sincere gratitude to all leaders and friends from various sectors who have supported us. Now, I'd like to share my insights and engage in discussions with you on the theme of advancing toward innovation and green development. General Secretary Xi Jinping attaches great importance to energy security and green development, have issued a series of important directives following the direction set by the General Secretary. China's petrochemical industry has vigorously promoted the purification of fossil fuels, large-scale adoption of clean energy, and low carbonization of production processes. We have accelerated the establishment of complementary synergy development framework integrating traditional energy, striving to become a leader in building new energy systems and maintain force in securing China's energy supply. In recent years, we have developed China's first shale gas field with proven reserve exceeding 1 trillion cubic meters, and built the world's largest hydrogen production facility and the most extensive hydrogen refueling station network, achieved the nation's largest heating coverage area, deployed the industry's high-quality development. Currently, the world is facing accelerated transformations, and with the global energy landscape undergoing profound adjustments, the clean energy industry chain and the supply chain faces severe challenges. Geopolitical conflicts are putting pressure on energy trade. Key resources and global supply chains experience insufficient resilience. We fully recognize that world economy's vast ocean cannot regress into the small lakes, and we must unite in solidarity and move forward hand in hand to overcome storms. And then in this regard, I'd like to propose several suggestions. First, deepen resource cooperation to jointly build a secure and stable supply chain, expand strategic collaboration on key mineral resources, and intensify joint exploration and development efforts, collectively safeguard global resource supply and market price stability, strengthen cooperation in exploration and development of low-carbon energy sources, such as natural gas, fostering a community characterized by shared benefits and shared risks. Second, deepen green energy cooperation, explore new industrial frontiers. Develop wind power, hydropower, nuclear power on a large scale tailored to local conditions, so actively fostering emerging sectors such as hydrogen energy, biomass energy, maritime energy, and advanced energy storage, and jointly establish demonstration projects. Third, deepen cooperation in scientific and technological innovation to active new drivers for industrial development. Focus on areas such as next generation, geothermal energy, hydrogen storage and transportation, advanced energy storage technologies. Jointly undertake technological breakthroughs and upgrading of major equipment in the energy sector to enhance the resilience and security of industrial and supply chains. Fourth, deepen international standard cooperation to streamline the global trade chain, jointly advance the development of international standards in green and low-carbon sectors, improve national carbon labeling, certification, grading management system for products, and actively lead in international green, connective, and trade collaboration, promoting alignment of rules and mutual recognition of standards for carbon footprint accounting and green certification. Fifth, deepen cooperation in digital and intelligent empowerment to enhance supply chain efficiently. In response to new developments such as rapid growth in renewable energy installations and the rising demand for power system regulation, we strengthen application of digital and intelligent technologies across all sectors, including monitoring energy storage dispatch. Currently, China's petrochemical has comprehensively embarked on a new journey and focusing on the vision of building a world-leading modern energy and chemical company. It is vigorously implementing 6 major strategies. The company is accelerating the establishment of a new industrial framework characterized by 1 foundation, 2 wings, 3 chains, and 4 new drivers, and with energy resources as the foundation, refining chemical cooperations as the 2 wings, oil products, natural gas, and chemical products as 3 core sales segments, new energy, new materials, new business models, and new growth areas, the strategic growth poles. We'll keep in mind what General Xi Jinping has told us, vigorously promote the deep integration of scientific technological innovation, accelerate large-scale, high-quality development of clean energy industry, continuously facilitate international trade, making greater contribution to building an open world economy. At last, I wish this Expo every success. May you enjoy good health and smooth work. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chen, for your sharing. And next, let's welcome Mr. Li Xiaofei, Deputy Manager of China Datang Group. Welcome. Respected Mr. Liu Jiannan, Mr. Liu Changxin, Mr. Huang Yongzhang, Mr. Chen Yanbing, dear leaders, distinguished guests, it's my great pleasure to attend this event and discuss with you the pathways for transform and upgrade energy supply chain, work together to build a better future of green energy. Currently, a new round of technological revolution is accelerating energy power. Scientific and technological progress in this field, along with green transition, are advancing rapidly. The development of an on-field national electricity mix market is progressing, while green electricity is increasing, permitting all aspects of production daily life. Technologies, business models, and operational approaches are emerging at fast speed, developing new types of productive forces in energy and power sector, building more power systems, clean, low-carbon, secure, and abundant, economically efficient supply has present both opportunities and challenges. So as the central energy and power enterprise, China Datang resolutely implements the new energy security strategy and dual carbon goals and tasks. We have steadily focused on 5 key development directions. First, adhere to the green development principle and establish clean power supply system with new energy as the primary source. Second, will uphold innovation as the core driver, develop strategic emerging industry, foster new model of integrated smart energy solutions. Third, deepen empowerment of digital technologies and accelerate comprehensive digital intelligent transformation. Fourth, guided by principle of openness and integration, focus on key areas such as zero carbon parks, direct green power supply, integrated computing, electric carbon systems. 5, will practice the concept of win-win cooperation by leveraging high-level joint efforts, building Belt and Road Initiative, using overseas new energy investment projects, and contribute to the global low-carbon energy transition. In international market, we've continuously expanded our presence in over 10 countries across Southeast Asia and Central Asia, with installed capacity of nearly 5 million kilowatts from approved and achieve localization rate exceeding 70%. And supply solutions to host countries, effectively drive energy. And today I will focus on the deep integration of green Belt and Road supply chains, industry chains, and innovative chains, share our experience. Currently, China Datang has put the Buka power station into operation in Uzbekistan while simultaneously advancing multiple projects. And leveraging the projects as application scenarios to drive standard setting, technological innovation, talent cultivation. And we have used investment, equipment, technology standards, plus technological innovation, plus capability enhancement, committed to fostering efficient green supply chains, coordinate industrial chain layouts, and sustain innovation power. The efforts have injected strong momentum into acceleration and transformation of the global energy sector and earned widespread acclaim from Central Asian countries. It is worth mentioning that while we are advancing hard connectivity, we're simultaneously implementing soft connectivity. China Data, in collaboration with the Ministry of Energy of Uzbekistan and other parties, has jointly established Silk Road Energy Joint R&D Innovation Center, and local talent from the local government has agreed that we from the Uzbekistan government. Last week I attended a forum, and they have expressed warm welcome, the full approval of Chinese enterprises, and we are striving the development of industrial chains and strong expectation. China Data has comprehensively demonstrated to the sustained innovation capabilities accumulated by China field of clean energy, and this is a vivid example. And today's cases illustrates the practice and the exploration of central state-owned energy enterprises, and serves as a vivid testament of how China's strength empowers global green future. Here, I'd like to express my gratitude for the CCPIT, and we here foster interaction between Chinese foreign enterprises, enhance collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Li. The previous leaders have shared their ideas from the strategic point of view, and they have also created a new chapter, a new blueprint for the future of clean energy. Now let's welcome Mr. Zong Shi to chair the next session. Distinguished leaders, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to our thematic panel discussion. I'm from CGTN, Zong Shi. I will serve as the moderator of this specific panel discussion. The first session, Innovation Leads Ushering in a New Era of Green Energy. I believe all of you are familiar with this theme. Energy transformation has entered the deep water process. In this process, we face the bottleneck issues. That is why on this occasion, we will not simply talk about theories. We focus on innovation. This is the core line to connect the story. We focus on the technical development and paradigm shift. We focus on green and low carbon development and a new landscape. And we have important guests. Let's welcome the guests for this panel discussion. Director of China Machinery Industry Environmental Production Industry Development Center, Mr. Jia Zhonghua. Vice President of China Energy Conservation and Environmental Protection Group Corporation, CEP, Mr. Du Le. Vice President of China National Chemical Engineering Group Corporation, CNCEC, Mr. Zhao Tao. Chairman of China Energy International Group Limited, Mr. Qiao Shubing. Welcome. I believe today's panel discussion can start from the common topic. I want to ask the four experts on the stage in terms of multi-level innovation. How can we go into this innovation topic? Sci-tech innovation is the core engine to drive high-quality development. The theme of this session is focused on this one. How can we promote multi-level, multidimensional innovation to enhance industry upgrading and promote the foundation of China's green and low-carbon transformation upgrading? Let's welcome Dr. Zhao to pave the way. Welcome. Thank you for the question. I'm very honored to engage in this important discussion. The question is quite amazing. Sci-tech innovation can drive industry development. This is a fundamental part. An engine. We focus on the bottleneck issues and system integration. In terms of sci-tech model and system, we can promote our development and give full play to our strengths. First, we need to deal with the bottleneck issues, make breakthroughs. We can enhance our self-control and self-R&D of industrial chain. As previous leaders have mentioned, low-carbon energy development technology is going tremendous upgrading. However, for key components and key materials, we still rely on import. That is why we need to deal with the bottleneck issues. Second, digitalization and new tech should be employed to promote the integration of the source and the network and the grid. Third, we should connect the dots of the industry and the production and the research community, and in this way we can promote the technical upgrading of the new energy sector. Thank you. When we talk about innovation, we should not simply do that for the purpose of innovation. We should deal with the real bottleneck issues. Bottleneck issues are crucial. Sci-tech can empower us to deal with this issue. Let's welcome Mr. Du Le to talk about different innovation dimension. What kind of pragmatic problems can be solved through innovation? How can we empower industry upgrading and transformation through innovation? In terms of modern industry system, it is a systematic problem. In this process, we needed to rely on the upstream and downstream synergy and collaboration of the whole ecosystem. It requires the multilateral cooperation at home and abroad. That is why, in terms of systematic innovation and energy cooperation, we rely on different parts of the work. For example, in terms of some energy system, energy supply chain, safety and security. In this process, we need to look at our national new energy system and new energy, clean energy, efficient utilization, and new energy large-scale development and application. And we should develop wind, PV, and hydrogen, and energy storage, and new energy storage, and cross-region ultra-high voltage development, and distributed energy system, energy utilization scenario, new energy curtailment, and energy control and scheduling and distribution. In this way, we can enhance the foundation of new energy development. And we should also look at cross-regional and cross-sector energies and supply chain development. For example, in terms of zero carbon campus and the digital economy and the coupling, this can help us enhance energy storage and industry integration. In this way, we can achieve multi-complementarity. And in terms of innovation, we should look at the global green industry cooperation. In this process, we should look at the National Belt and Road Initiative platform and achieve low carbon and clean energy, domestic and international connectivity, and mutual recognition and mutual trust In this way, the global energy system can be enhanced. When we look at innovation, we talk about technical innovation, as Mr. Dule has mentioned, systematic innovation, upstream, downstream, synergy, and domestic international connection and matchmaking. This is thought-provoking. Mr. Zhao, what's your take on that? China Chemical Engineering Group Co. Limited is our national team of our chemical engineering. We are also the leading force in globally. Tech leading our engineering. Technology can also enhance our development. Through technical innovation, we can promote the green development of our industry as well. At the 3 levels, we have enhanced our work. First, traditional chemical engineering industry, we should look at our upgrading and transformation. Since the founding of PRC, we have a lot of fundamental, basic chemical engineering technology, such as the acid and alkaline and the fertilizers, and we have reached the global top-notch caliber. These technologies is environmentally friendly and highly efficient and energy conservation. And we have also been applying this at home. At the same time, we have also promoted the upgrading and green development of the whole sector. And these technologies have also been used across the Belt and Road Initiative, and it has also been recognized by us in Africa, in Southeast Asia, in Middle East, as well as in South America. We have also been utilizing these projects. And Chinese standards, Chinese technology, Chinese equipment have been going global through this way. This is real practice. Through chemical engineering technology, we can empower green energy. For China Chemical Engineering Group, we have the multi-crystallization silicon technology. Multi-crystallization silicon is the raw material for the PV panel over the past 15 years. This technology has been upgraded by 5 generations. For all of the multi-crystallization silicon, the energy consumption has been down by 50%, and we have 95% of the market share. For PV costs, it has been cut down with our contribution. With chemical engineering, we can support green energy. This is the second part. Third, with chemical engineering, we can look at the green energy absorption and utilization. For example, green energy is unstable, and through the electrogalvanizer, we can have the green hydrogen, and we have the soft synthesized ammonia, and it can also adapt to the fluctuation of green energy, hydrogen, and power. Through hydrogen, it can be transformed into ammonia. It is a new way of absorbing the green energy. And we have the biomass as well. We have biomass, the gas type, such as the aviation fuel and the new type of ethanol. And we have the green energy and CO2, and then we can have methanol, and methanol can be used for clean energy. Through this technology, we can promote green energy and clean energy and chemical engineering upgrading. Very specific, very professional sharing. For China equipment, China technology have become an important part of China solution and China wisdom. And then we can go global to empower the local communities and local businesses and local development. Now let's welcome Mr. Chao. What's your take on that? I'm from China Energy International Group. And you can see we have been doing our business abroad, and we are a major platform for China Energy International Group in terms of the power sector, in terms of the equipment manufacturing and investment and operation, and the whole industrial chain. In the power sector, we are the national team, and you can see in energy and power low carbon transformation, we focus on the new power system based on clean energy. China Energy Group has served as the think tank, and we have played our role in. And you can see, based on today's topic, multilateral, multidimensional innovation. I want to go through three aspects. First is about technology. China Energy International is following tech innovation and innovation driven to lead high-quality development. We have about 20 research and design academies and over 300,000 talents in our design and R&D team. With advanced planning, we have also paved the way for future industry in green and low carbon and green energy transformation, such as green energy transformation and the wind power and solar power and the compressed air energy storage. These are the frontier and top-notch technology. We have built the world's first 300 MW compressed air storage and green ammonia energy storage as well. In this process, we have yielded major fruits, and for power system, we have enjoyed tremendous support from green energy. Second, in terms of the model innovation, for different models, if you look at our practice abroad, globally, we are going through green and low carbon transformation. However, many countries cannot support that with their existing grid system, such as the development of new energy. That is why we have promoted the planning as the lead across the Belt and Road Initiative. We have over 10 countries working with us. We support them. And then we have the top-notch design for large-scale utilization and resources. They can enjoy our support to use local resources and local energy. We have contract business, and we are also developing the high-quality projects. In this way, investment and operation can go hand in hand. In Uzbekistan, 1 GW PV project. For the first 7 months, we have the 400 MW power in grid integration, and from top to bottom, we have recognition of Uzbekistan. Second, coordination and synergy for innovation. For innovation, we have the first-hand experience in terms of the upstream and downstream and the integration. Planning as the lead is our principle, and we have been supported by enterprises upstream and downstream, and we are moving forward together. At the same time, we have the cross-regional horizontal cooperation, such as integration with transportation and AI. In Shandong, we have created the world's very first energy integration highway in Qinyang and Gansu. In the East Data West Computing, we have built the Qinyang Data Center. From these three aspects, I can answer your question. And we have listened to different cases, and when it comes to different industries and different sectors, at the end of the day, in terms of technologies and models, innovation, they have their own pride. And on this occasion, they have shared with us their important fruits. Now, in terms of their different sectors, different industries, and different businesses, I want to talk about their ideas on specific problems and specific questions. Mr. Zhang, in terms of the environmental production equipment, how they can empower low-carbon industry. You are in the environmental conservation equipment for a long time. You have been familiar with the top-notch industries. In terms of the industry, how can we work with the industry clusters and technical breakthroughs? In this way, we can empower low-carbon industry and enhance the momentum of low-carbon industry. Across the whole world, green and low-carbon industry has been reshaped. For green and low-carbon industry, we should also not only serve as the major contributor, and previously we have also served as the cleaner. We pollute and then we clean. We should also serve as a catalyst. We should look at system, sci-tech, and industry cluster, and we have to draw upon different forces. In this way, we have the system leading technical promotion, and in this way, we can enhance the development of different sectors. In this way, we can promote the high-tech industry. First, we should look at the system innovation. We can deal with the supply and demand unbalanced, unmatched issue. For example, in terms of the green and low-carbon technology and specific cases, in terms of the transformation, some top-notch technologies have no market, and we have different reasons behind it. The fundamental reason is that our system design has not considered consumption and demand potential. It has not been transformed into the market in terms of the system. Let's look at how we can deal with these issues. Let's look at green, low-carbon orientation, the green standard. And let's look at the efficiency of pollution reduction and carbon emission reduction contribution. These are the hard parameters for bidding and tendering. Second, we should look at the risk sharing through the compensation and waiving of some responsibilities. We can remove the concerns of the consumers. Third, we should promote the whole life cycle of the carbon footprint and the energy efficiency categorization. We should look at the hard restraints of green and low carbon. Next part is about the sci-tech innovation. We can take the new market, a new track. Environmental conservation industry is from the bottom end to the whole process decarbonization. In this important timeline, if we can seize the strong momentum and a strong high tech, we will enjoy the benefits and advantage. And I believe we should look at the three aspects of technical upgrading. First, we focus on the decommissioned equipment, high-quality reutilization, such as the wind turbines, the blades, and the waves recycling, and the PV modules, and the recycling and recovery of the modules of PV will embrace the decommissioning of a lot of new energy components. By 2030, we have about 30,000 wind turbines that will be commissioned, and we have a lot of new energy equipment that could be decommissioned. We have no system solution for that across the whole world. We hope that we can catch these opportunities. We should also focus on the industry campus, such as the emission-intensive scenario. We should look at the low-cost module-based carbon capture and utilization. The third part, the environmental conservation equipment, whole life cycle, carbon management, and environmental equipment, digital twin, and smart O&M. With our data and computing power, we can also combine that with our experiences. In this way, we can complete the whole process of pollution reduction and pollution treatment. And we should also focus on industry clusters to promote the new momentum. For low carbon industry development, we require equipment as well as solutions. We should focus on the new quality productive forces and the new clusters. And we should also guide the environmental conservation equipment from the supplier of equipment to the pollution treatment and the carbon reduction solution provider. In this way, we can contribute to the high quality and continuous support. Continuous support is the key catchphrase, as Mr. Zhang has mentioned. From cleaner to catalyst, this is not a simple concept upgrading. It's also about the powerful response to the market to activate the consumption potential and upgrading of the concept. Now let's shift to Mr. Du, market, innovation, and practice. We understand China energy conservation production, environmental production group in terms of energy storage and energy development. You have a lot of deployment in terms of market-based innovation and scale-based innovation. Could you share with your cases that can be expanded and promoted? In terms of CECP, we are the only one focused on energy conservation and energy development at the state-owned level. We are the earliest to deploy new energy development as well, representing the state-owned enterprises. I want to share with you some of our efforts. In terms of the energy development, we focus on wind power generation and PV power and PV modules manufacturing, listed company, and trash power generation listed company as well. That is why for new energy development and utilization, we have a very comprehensive team. Over the years, we are one of the earliest companies to do business in new energy sector. We have built the world's very first 1 million level, 10 million level wind power base. We have built the national very first desert power generation and 1 MW level and distributed PV power generation. In terms of the fishery and PV and wind power integration, we have yielded major fruits as well. For high energy consumption, such as steel and the petrochemical industry and non-ferrous metal, we have also provided energy conservation solutions. We have over 1,000 projects covering this field, and we are also promoting the zero carbon campus. And you can see we have completed 14 zero carbon campuses solutions. 2 solutions, one is in Beihai, Guangxi, one is in Yichun, Jiangxi province. And this is the very first national level zero carbon industry campus. In Shenzhen, Guangdong, we have the energy renovation project. It's about energy storage, smart energy revolution, and energy smart 1M, and the high energy consumption campus renovation and in upgrading. This is about the textbook model. We can provide the role model project in terms of the thermal power and the hydrogen power, the hydropower. We have covered 5,500 square kilometers of the energy deployment. It can serve the public with our new contribution. Over the years, you can see we have done a lot of practice. One is about new energy deployment and the team building, and I believe in terms of the energy transformation, when we look at this topic, this is different answers we can deliver. Thank you for sharing. Now let's welcome Mr. Zhao. You have talked about the petrochemical industry. The outsiders cannot understand some professional technology. However, when we talk about petrochemical industry and chemical engineering projects in the energy transformation, we'll simply associate it with the bottlenecks and the pain points of the energy transformation. And whether we can empower new opportunities into the chemical engineering project. Green Energy Euro has delivered new changes to us in 2 areas, I believe. One is about the raw material, second, chemical product demand side. In terms of raw materials, chemical industry, raw materials traditionally is the fossil fuel. In the new era of new energy power can be transformed into hydrogen and biomass, and the recyclable trash disposable trash can also be transformed into the chemical engineering raw materials, and we can expand the raw material sources, and we can also get rid of the reliance on fossil fuel. For example, we use the thermal power for power generation in Africa. For the green power, through the galvanizer, it can be transformed into the green hydrogen, and the nitrogen can become ammonia, synthesized ammonia, together with the CO2, and then it can become the fertilizers. This is the green chemical product chain. This is about the raw material. In terms of the product demand side, we have some new changes. For example, for green energy, that development can enhance the demand for chemical product. For example, for PV, it is enjoying tremendous development. It needs the crystal silicon and the membrane, the POE and UVA. These are chemical material in terms of energy storage and battery, such as the anode and the cathode materials and the galvanized liquid materials. These are chemical products as well, such as the battery, such as the lithium. This is also the chemical engineering project that can generate lithium for the wind turbines, blades such as the resin we need and the fiber we need. These are chemical products. Green development, the green industry can empower this green product demand.
Second part, the demand for low carbon products is increasing. We know that in the whole world, the water freight, the government's policies has accelerated the demand for low carbon products, and the green stuff that has been accelerated has produced opportunities in this field, and because of these policies demand, the low carbon products has value proposition. So there was a higher opportunity for the development of chemical industry. So in the supply chain part, in the future, we will have low carbon footprint that will bring upgrading for the whole industrial supply chain. So that's in the raw material sector, and in demand sector, there will be a great change in this field. They all pose greater opportunity. Thank you. So no matter we can deal with these challenges or we adjust to the situation, we have more opportunities to capture. So thank you very much for your elaboration. In the first round of questions, we have seen that in the international field, you have very good outcomes. Can you talk about focusing on your own recent outcomes and standing on the global energy, green, low carbon transition and share with us your experience? Thank you. As a national corporation, we have stick to our policies and use our advantages. In this process, I'd like to share with you 3 aspects of our experience. First, we stick to planning first. Just as I mentioned previously, in many countries, they have developed new energy, and also they want to introduce the industry, but the weakness of their electric power network and lack of money are real-world questions. And in this part, we have successfully introduced our experience in this field to more than 10 countries, and we persuaded them to accept that they need a top-level plan and consultant service. So in this process, we have produced to Uzbekistan, Laos, Cambodia, South Africa, Azerbaijan, and Kazakhstan. This facilitates their country's energy mix, and in their own planning, they have invited us to be their consultant, and they have learned many experiences in this field. So one aspect is the planning, which has provided the investors good services, including China Datang Group and the electric investment corporations. In Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, they consider more about the safety, the market of the electricity. So if we have the plan, we can also introduce the energy plan. And in some of the manufacturing industry, they consider more about the markets. That's about the projects. In second part, we adhere to the innovation-driven breakthroughs. So going abroad is good utilization, but in many parts, we don't take them as the last development countries. We bring them the most advanced technologies, but it's not an easy path. So in one hand, we have enhanced the support and invite more corporations and government sectors to visit some projects. In third part, we seek to cultivation their ability instead of give them the products. So in one side, we invest some projects and cultivate and lead their technological talents. to teach them and to enhance their technological benchmark. And at the same time, we have collaborated with some local partners to strengthen our cooperation and teach them face to face. So under this circumstance, we further cultivate the projects, and for our cooperation in this process, we have learned much. So these are three aspects that I want to share with you. Okay, give them capability is more important than give them products. So that's a very insightful sharing. So that's the panel discussion. I hope that it's helpful for give you some insights. So for this topic, I'd like to insult you for some more opinions. At first, we know that the bottleneck is the production and study, and the upstream, downstream are not very smooth. So how can we build platform or mechanism to facilitate the projects for actual use? So Mr. Jia, please. Actually, you have mentioned that question in the previous discussion, but we focus more about the produce, study, and research. Actually, in China, the manufacturing industry has been moving fast, and we have been in the leading position. And globally, we have the biggest market in new energy utilization. So as the users like Sinopec, they want to take a share in this market. So in terms of mechanism, we need to consider more about the interests of users. How can we get them into this circle and share with the benefits and promote the outcome and promoting. Secondly, I'd like to talk about the bottleneck that we have focused on the most, around focusing on the new energy sector. We have some common concern about technologies, raw materials, some basic techniques which needs the governments, the relative sectors to lead, and the corporations to participate in to solve these problems, like building some platforms, some labs. Thank you. Produce, study, and utilization. We focus on the need of users. Now, Mr. Du, please talk about your opinions. Actually, in this discussion about clean energy, the development in recent years, it's very fast. So, especially after Mr. Xi has talked about this topic, and the China's share in this market is advanced globally. In this process, we have some common use and the energy storage and the recycling, reusing, and the integration of energy with AI. We still have a lot of work to do, and we need more about the collaboration from supply chain in terms of energy technology and in terms of the point of cooperation. We have laid more importance on the environmental protection and many work. We have some room to improve to implement the policies. We need some innovation, some tryout. Sometimes we think that only by the efforts of cooperation we are not good enough to tackle these problems. So we need to work with some universities, institutes, and give the questions to these institutions to collaborate with them. And also from the government, we have got the demand that we need to work with them to tackle some problems. So no matter in terms of clean energy or environmental protection, we need more advanced technologies to transform them into the utilization scenario. And we have a lot of work to do. So today the China Expo is different from other meetings because it's about bridging the upward stream and downward stream to foster international corporations. We have heard about some call-ups for corporations to foster innovation technologically. In the future, we will implement these ideas into our work, clean energy, environmental protection, to efficiently work to meet the demands. Thank you. Actually, Mr. Zhu has talked about a very interesting idea about the integration of clean energy and AI. So next time, because of the time, we will hear it next time. Now, Mr. Zhao, please share with us your insight. Actually, in this part, we have also have some institutions, and in a way, we have also meet some bottlenecks on mainly two aspects. The first one is when we set projects, when we select the topic, actually we not learned more about the demands of the users. At the same time, our projects are not targeted, which affected the transformation of technology into industry. So in the terms of users, in this process of research, they have also have some questions, and they hesitate to use new technologies, so which are not good for the promotion of the new technologies. So we suggest that we should build a collaboration to promote technologies, take users as core, because they will participate in this process, and build labs. And the engineering corporations participate in the development, and the suppliers can also take participation in this process and research collaboratively, and take long-term mechanism to build, to share, to bridge between labs and the promotion, the use. That's my take. Thank you. So we take the risks sharedly and we collectively take benefits now. Mr. Qiao, please. We are the same as engineering corporation. We focus more on implementing technologies. Implementing technologies in our practice, there are some aspects that I'd like to share with you. One is that the topic is from the future, so the topic is very important. We have 20-some doctor working stations and some research institutions in this field. They are very good place to do the research, but where do the projects come from? We are not tackling the projects from right now, but from the future, like 5 years later or 10 years later, because we have the plans already, so we should know what the future will be like in 5 or 10 years. Secondly, we tackle the problems together. So in this process, we have some technologies to collaboratively innovate, and some are reshaping this field. So we have tried to lead in this chain. Like, for example, the expressed energy storage. In this section, we have a project that successfully proved the path is workable. So under the lead of CISCE, we have accomplished these projects. At the same time, we have not advantage in the industrial chain. For example, in some sectors, some relative sectors, we have advantages like the machinery, and we have successfully supported the development and we gained national technological awards. At last, I think the most important, I will not talk about the risks anymore because they have mentioned. So as engineering corporate, we need to summarize timely the benchmark, and we have a good tradition that the utilization of traditional technology, we will make it to upgrade to the corporate benchmark and then to national benchmark. So in this way, these technologies can be practiced timely and be utilized timely. That's what I thought about this question. Thank you. Collaboratively tackle the problem and expand our thoughts about it. So thank you very much about your professional ideas. I think that panel discussion is also very beneficial for our audience. So from the innovation, from the policies to management and energy, fundamental construction, and they are core values of the energy industry innovation. And now we have got the key. Thank you. Please take your seats. Thank you.
Now let's start the second round of discussion. It's about multi-round of innovation-driven, creating a new supply chain, industrial chain for new energy. It's not about simply the energy development. It's about the whole supply chain and the industrial chain upgrading. We want to create the green and stable industrial supply chain. We need multiple rounds of development. We should rely on smart equipment, green space, financial empowerment, and multi-stakeholder connectivity. That is why we have invited the different experts present here. Now let's welcome the second round of discussion experts. General Manager of Bingshan Refrigeration and Heat Transfer Technology Limited, Mr. Cai Liyong. Welcome. President of Changjiang Electric Group Limited, Mr. Wang Chao. As well as Mr. Alex Gu, General Manager of Marketing and Public Affairs of Laboratory China, and Mr. Wang Xuezhi, Founder and CEO of Jinma Energy Conservation Technology Limited, as well as Mr. Wei Chaoying, President of Project and Occupier Services, Cushman and Wakefield, China. As the discussion expert, let's start from the most realistic and most pragmatic development of the whole industry. If you focus on the energy supply chain, you can see that it is in the dynamic fluctuation process. And you can see you have different reasons behind it, as those leaders have mentioned, such as geopolitics and geopolitical conflicts and upstream price fluctuation. We have the longer supply chain and the high operational cost, as well as the unsmooth coordination, and we cannot avoid all of these problems. Can we have any approach to deal with this coordination? And how can we promote the resilience of the supply chain? And how can we reduce the fluctuation? And how can we reduce the negative impact on the enterprises? Mrs. Cai, the floor is yours. I'm from Bingshan Group, and it was established 96 years ago in 1903, 1930, and you can see we are in the business of temperature business and temperature solutions, such as the resilience of the supply chain and the development of the supply chain. Now let's look at our business. Previously, we were the equipment producer. We can manage the heat. We serve as a heat solution provider. We can solve the problems with our customers, and if we have the common target, and then our services can be elevated, and then the customers can enjoy better services in terms of the resilience and the long-term support. This is the foundation for us as well. And start from this one, let's look at this second round. Mr. Wang, how can you enhance your resilience against risk? And I believe it is quite crucial because different leaders have mentioned that they are our leaders, they are our customers, we are part of their supply chain. Today, I'm very honored to share the resilience of our supply chain. For China Electric, we are in the energy equipment business for over 20 years. In terms of the supply chain management, I believe this is the important topic for us. That is why we have some critical thinking behind it in terms of the industrial chain management and supply chain management. And you can see we need to enhance the internal supply chain stability to tackle the outside uncertainty. Internal certainty against external uncertainty. For different enterprises, they have different moves, different secret weapons at different stages of development. They have different ways of dealing with challenges. In terms of the products, they have different ways. For example, the copper prices have exceeded 100,000 RMB per ton. This is the major commodities. It's different from purchasing a screw. That is why supply chain management is very dynamic, and I have been thinking as the traditional manufacturing business provider, and how can we enhance the resilience with our suppliers? I want to answer questions from two aspects. First, last year, we have won the national level green factory. Now we are applying for the zero carbon factory. In terms of the cost 3 suppliers, we want to join hands with them to create zero carbon factory, green factory. Uncertainty can be shifted into certainty, dual carbon, and energy conservation, emission reduction. This is about our requirement. Some major policies such as carbon peak, carbon neutrality, the evaluation method, and the calibration guidelines of public agency, and the green energy certification. Green carbon and zero carbon have very specific standards to follow. That is why we can work with our partners to create a zero carbon factory, zero carbon campus. Our R&D team, as well as the R&D institution. Let's look at the energy carbon development. Previously, we talked about software and a tool. Now we are working with them. That is why when we do all of this work, there are two things. Now there are only one. Internal certainty against external uncertainty. In terms of the partners, extension, from your cooperation to our cooperation, we are engaging in their zero carbon factory. External can become internal, and in this way, our supply chain can be optimized to deal with the external uncertainty. This is our major practice. Thank you. External to internal, internal certainty against external uncertainty. Very important catchphrase. Mr. Gu. I'm very honored to talk about the certainty of supply chain from the perspective of a company. We talk about how we can supply the goods, how can we ensure the upstream, downstream of raw materials, of the smooth supply. From half a company, we are in China for 40 years. We are the Sweden company. In different sectors, we provide key components such as shipping, energy, and food and drug, pharmaceutical industry. These industries are separated. However, when we have the global supply chain crisis, this diversified different sector interaction can be crucial. I want to cite one example. For example, we believe shipping and industry, shipping and energy, they are not separated. Energy and agriculture are also separated. In our traditional concept, that was the case. Now, in terms of sustainability and carbon reduction and the Red Sea and Hormuz crisis, we need green resources and green energy. Our can make contributions in the future. We have a lot of renewable energies, such as green power and PV, and you can see we have a lot of factories abroad. We have some concerns, and Europeans would be concerned that we have dumped our green energy product. However, in North China, they can be transformed into green hydrogen, such as the straws in North China. They can become green ethanol and green ammonia. These are the green fuels. They can become SAF, such as the aviation fuel for the airplanes. However, shipping requires a lot of SAF, the green materials. We burn the heavy oil. By 2060, green fuel should account for at least 30% by the International Shipping Organization. And for the future, we'll have green energy, such as green ethanol and green ammonia, and this is a crucial requirement. Green power can be consumed in northern China. The straws can be recovered. From Brazil, we can also import soybean to transform it into the green ethanol. The supply chain stability is not about one industry. It's about whether you can connect the dots to enhance stability. For our company, Alfa Laval, as the only European business here, in terms of green energy and new energy, China has been moving further. If you look beyond China, and then you look at China's market, we can work with each other. For example, we have a lot of green energy, green power, green global. We can support the stability of the supply chain, and countries along the Belt and Road Initiative can enjoy our products. It's not that we will dump the products. We can enhance their share of the green energy in their energy mix, and we can alleviate the concerns. And in terms of the supply chain, in terms of the fluctuation, you can see starting from early last year, Donald Trump has started talking about China-U.S. trade frictions. You can hear different voices. Some people would be concerned that thanks to the reverse globalization, we should think about cooperation is a trend. Globalization is a trend. Globalization is crucial. As a European business, we should jump on strengths from Chinese businesses to monetize our solutions, and Chinese enterprises can learn from our deployment. Across the whole world, we have companies and branches across 120 countries and regions. You can work with us to start global deployment. Thank you for your way of observation. When you have started observation of China's green energy, green transport, green hydrogen, you will have a new answer. Mr. Wang. I'm Mr. Wang from Jinma Energy Conservation. We are in the business of comprehensive energy planning and energy station transformation. And I have two ideas to share. Energy crisis is quite crucial in terms of the war and AI companies. They want to build computing centers. Now they have to build that on the moon, in the space, because their energy supply cannot match, such as Elon Musk. He is the heavy expert. However, he has to think about how to build the energy center with the gas turbines and with the power from the trash. In the power pursuit, we should look at how we can find energy internally. Globally, they have suffered the impact from across the market. In terms of the first principle of the CMOS theory, and we should look at the energy stability, such as the computing power center and semiconductors and chemical engineering project. They have a lot of energy consumption. They have a lot of energy input, such as they purchase 100 tons of the vapor and natural gas. However, when after they use this energy, then the energy can be used for heat, residue heat, and residue refrigeration. They have been exhausted and they have been discharged into the air. If we use these resources, they can be recycled. And we have some planning for some project for for the vapor. We have about 100 million RMB of vapor purchase. Through advanced MVR technology, they can be recycled and reused. As long as they use the external vapor or boiler, they can be used in the recycling process. They don't have to use that. We can achieve the self-recycling. And this kind of recycling is quite common for the upstream factory. You have a lot of heat in terms of the oil and the coal production. However, the residue heat can be used by the downstream. It's not that every company can purchase that is influenced by the market. It is the primary resources or secondary resources to secure the stability of the energy supply chain. You can pursue inward. In the energy development process, in the coming 3 years, in terms of different sectors, you should achieve the benchmark level, and you should achieve very high energy efficiency. Not many people can do that. That is why we have the de-engineering process. No company would like to achieve the engineering renovation, don't want to suffer the shutdown. However, if they can't do that, how can we achieve the energy renovation? We have the standard energy station supply. We have 6 SKU, such as the standard vapor and refrigeration and air compression station. Through 3 months, we can have the pre-installation, and then we put it in the factory for assembling. And in this way, the enterprises can also enjoy lower cost. And you have talked about internal, external balance, internal certainty against external uncertainty, from external to internal, to deal with the risks. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Mr. Wei. We have a full-fledged team here. Let's welcome Mr. Wei. Thank you. I'm very honored to be here. On behalf of our company, Cushman and Walkerfield, we are the most distinguished or most different one, because traditionally you can see we are in the business of commercial real estate. In 1784, we were established in Birmingham, Britain. We are in the business of commercial real estate from 1913. Thanks to Mr. Liang Zhenying's contribution, we entered the business in mainland China from Hong Kong SAR, and we have enjoyed the land bonuses over the past 20 years, and we have fast growth over the past 20 years. In 2015, our company, our global BOD, has highly evaluated 2 countries. One is the Greater China region, one is Singapore. These are the 2 strong, fastest growth markets. However, in recent years, the market environment and the global geopolitical environment have forced us to achieve transformation. From real estate, we should upgrade our game to industry, from real estate to capital, to industry, to government, and then we can understand the whole development process of the industries. Over the years, you can see we should look at the international companies, because we have been supported by international companies as well. However, over the years, environmental changes have also presented major challenges for large multinational companies. That is why today, when we talk about the green energy in terms of supply chain, previously we talked about the land logic or the real estate logic. Now it's about real estate, supply chain, and the capital. Over the years, when we interview some large multinational companies, you can see they have been innovating and transforming themselves, as the gentleman from Alpha Lava has mentioned. They have also been transforming their business. Now let's look at this different angle, representing the German family company Schaeffler. It is not listed. It is managed by the family business model. In their core business in China and the whole world are like us in the car components and auto parts, especially the bearings, such as the highway, such as the bullet train. The 90% or above bearings have been supplied by Schaeffler. They have 3 major business innovation. One is in AI. They have robotics. Second, in hydrogen related to clean energy. We have been working with the clean energy team. They have global HQ here in China. We have been working with them in clean energy, how we can deal with the global supply chain challenge and the market opportunities here. That is why we look forward to working with the multinational companies to achieve innovation here in China, to deal with the domestic and international uncertainty and risks. More importantly, in China, we can create some new business scenario, new tech and new capability of large corporation and a global sales network can be connected. In this way, the global supply chain at the market level can create new opportunities. That is why, as a representative from the consultation agency, I can share my ideas. And in terms of the industry system innovation and the whole industrial chain cost reduction, we hope that we can enhance the resilience. In this way, the global companies and the scenarios can be combined.
Thank you very much. Through your introduction, we have seen that the active deeds is what we should do to face the international landscape. That's very important choices. So thank you very much. Now, I'd like to ask some more targeted questions. First, Mr. Cai, I think this question is very professional, so if possible, you can use languages that common people can understand to answer this question. Actually, in the construction of zero carbon parks and some systems to recycle, reduce thermal. So with your experience, can you talk about how can we practice the high efficient utilization of these thermals, and do we have some examples that you can share with us? So that's a very big question. So I will briefly answer that. So just now, they have talked about the construction of zero carbon parks. We were the first that built these parks, and we changed the name of our corporation to Bingshan Fridge and Heat Transfer Technologies. The reason is that we want to recycle the heat and to balance the heat and the cold. So commonly speaking, if we use 1 degree of electricity, we make 30 to 35% efficiency, and others are into the air. Part of the heat is for heating the temperature in the room, and another for the electricity, and the efficiency is about 65%. So for every degree of electricity, we spend like 0.5 to 0.8 yuan. And then we want to recycle these heats, and now we achieved to recycle 35% almost. So with this technology, we can use 70%. So with the development, with the progress, we want to recycle another 30%, but it's almost impossible to make it the 100% utilization. So for the use of electricity, our understanding of zero carbon park is 3 R's. The first R is to reduce the foundation of energy. Firstly, it saves electricity, and second R is reuse. I just mentioned that the heat we put into air, we recycle them, and for new electricity, for the wasted heat, we reuse them. And third R is the results, like wind, polar. In our park, the commonly practice is for solar power. Wind power is too cost. So the green energy utilization will need us to finish these 3 R's. These 3 parts compromise into a zero carbon park. So in our plant, last August, we have got the license, and we aimed to make it the example and serve the companies and take our experience into this industry to work collaboratively with other companies. So in the future, how can we utilize these wasted heated? And Mr. Wang Xuezi has also mentioned this topic. Now, many industries, like chemical industries and textile industries, they have high demand, but they have also wasted some heat. very little recycled for life using, for heating. The technology now, we want to make more use of them. We use pump to increase it to 100 degrees, and then we use this low temperature, low steam to express the steam. But it's not expensive. So all those core idea is that how can we realize this? The original ideas, we practice them in some different parts. Now we want to put them in system way to provide users, customers, enterprises to use them together, and so realize the low carbon, zero carbon, so we can work gradually to realize this outcome. Thank you very much, Mr. Cai. You use very easy understanding way to answer that complex question. So thank you very much. Now, Mr. Wang Chao. In facing with the distributed new energy layout, how can smart appliances, devices to realize energy management and control? Thank you. We think that there are two prepositions that we need to consider. We think the new type of electricity system, we focus on two key points. One is electric network transformation. The original network is one way. Now, many distributed energy networks are two-way. So that's very big change. And second is the price of electricity. For the citizens have not changed, but for the business use, the price has been marketed. So the price of electricity, the cost is variable, and some you can take benefits from them. Like some facilitate services, you can get some benefits. So there are two logic in this. One is for physical and the other is for market. So these changes have brought us some key demands. In one hand, we need to adjust to the high proportion of new energy, and secondly, we need to calculate the use of electricity. And how can we tackle this problem? We need to focus on two aspects. One is vertical. That is, we need to promote the equipment. In this field, we have standing on the path moving toward the smallerize and the low carbon direction, and we focus on the new material. The breakthroughs in this field has some impact in the industry. Last April, we went to Chongqing in the lab to discuss about realize the engineering utilization And in the structure, the utilization is very good for making the equipment smaller and lighter. So no matter for installment or transportation, and we can cut most cost. So make it smaller, make it lighter and smarter. We have tried some work horizontally. We used to focus on the products, but now we focus more about the using experience of customers. We provide not only the products, because users are not focused on the resource of these equipments, but more about the cost that they can save by using these equipments, and how can they reduce carbon use and treat them in the market. And also they think more about the brand. So facing these challenges and its demands of the customers in terms of vertical and horizontal, we are doing more to meet their demands, so we can make our equipment more match to their demands and the electrical system. So vertical or horizontal collaboratively efforts and learning more about the needs of the clients. So thank you very much. Mr. Gu has mentioned that Avalava has entered into China 40 years, and we are pleased to talk with the visitors who comes to here first, because they will give us some new ideas. So next, please introduce to us the global low carbon technology upgrading. Well, before I answer the question, thank you for all the speakers. Actually, the last part was the most brilliant. Actually, I have also entered into this industry, so personally speaking, energy is a very big topic, but you asked me about my feelings and about the innovation. I think for any corporation, they are not capable of doing it by themselves, so they need to be humble to learn more about related knowledge, and this is my personal feelings and opinions, so I'm very glad to discuss more about these technological questions with other speakers. Why I'm here? Because first, corporates from North Europe are not very popular. There was a joke that like they are from the iceberg. But actually, we may see that Europeans, they have many experience that we can learn from. When we do a PV plant, many years ago it was only 1 GW or 2 GW, but now we can set the area that is equal to the Singapore, because they are not experienced the education system as Chinese, so they think bold. Two examples. One is that in the industry, in the air freight, we focus more about efficiency or about the fuels, but more people think more about they set 4 poles in the ship, and they think if the wind is powerful, we can save fuel, so we can reduce carbon emission for about 40%. So I thought that was the advantage from the European companies. They think outside of the box. I have searched some of the projects we did in Europe. Some of them I was proud of, but some of them I think we should have more work to do. And some of the projects we participate and will participate in some new energy. But then I realized that during this process, we have noticed that some of them invested only the leading company. So for me, I think we must be here to bring the European technologies when they're in their start state, and then when Chinese corporations see these technologies, we will support them, support their plans. So this is a platform for us to cooperate, to learn mutually. Oh, thank you for very vivid examples. Although, and next, we invite Mr. Wang Xuezhi. Actually, we reshape the value of the supply chain, and with the new modes, the promotion of these modes are very important powers. So the question for you is how can we reshape the relationship of supply and demand for upstream and downstream supplies and to seek more room for development? Thank you. That's a very interesting question. I'd like to share from 3 aspects. Actually, the corporations that are utilizing powers are not very happy because they face many obstacles like policies from the benefits, but they need to cost a lot of money to build such projects. So it's like so the reason we need to see the basic of this question. Why there's a room to upgrade? Why can't we just do it one time and finished? Like the system and with high energy cost, it's very not active because we need to, for logistic support element, very not systematic utilization. And from the energy promotion, so we see some potential like 50% or 70%. That's just a concept. So first, we need to restructure our concept. is called zeroth process step. So in the production for energy, especially the second energy, we need to think more about how can we efficiently and with less money to produce them, but not just we go buy them and start construction. So the zeroth process step is that we can rethink and enhance the efficiency of energy utilization. And secondly, the service of energy and the management should be more professional, like the electricity, like the heat transforming, and with more professional. Many companies, for example, some bosses, the first time they say yes, they want to know more about the specific technologies. I said there are many, but that will cost a lot of time. But I have a plan for energy planning that can reduce your cost. So companies need a plan to reduce their cost, but not pay the money to improve. So the second point is that the business mode can be upgraded. When people ask about what we do, I said we do some work to help companies to build more efficient energy system. Yearly, traditionally, you reduce 10%. So if you want to cooperate us, we can reduce 10%. And that's your own benefits. That's what we do. So business modes should be very specific, professional. So to reduce cost, make it stable, efficient. Thirdly, we provide standard SKU. For example, one partner of us, they bought many water pumps, but the comprehensive cost of them is very high. So we help them to reduce 10%, and in the future we committed to help them to do more upgrading to solve technological problems and reduce their cost, reduce their investment. So they thought it was very good. At the same time, in hardware management, will also build software management system for safety management with the support of cloud computing. And after many projects, you will realize some common problems, and then we can help mainstream companies, that suppliers, to improve these equipments. That's my answer. Thank you, Mr. Wang Xuezhi, for your explanation. And then we come to Mr. Wei. Now many enterprises care more about how to practice the energy park upgrading, green building, and sustainable management. How can we improve the supply chain from the corporate part? Actually, this is a very traditional way. As any consultant company, for the opinions and some government sectors in Jiangsu province asked us to be their consultant, and we focused more about how can we efficiently connect the corporations from upstream sectors and downstream sectors. And I have a few cases. For example, like we work with a company Rockwell, and every year from like 2023 in Shanghai, there was a climate week, and we worked together to build a climate tower and use digital resolvement from hardware upgrading to software upgrading. So we thought we were in the same thinking mode, and during the practice of the upgrading and utilization of this industry, we work together to promote the sustainable development of green energy, the nearly zero carbon. And in another corporation in Japan, we have constructed some zero carbon parks, and in the 15th five-year plan, the Chinese government has laid a very clear path that we need to build low carbon or zero carbon parks. So last month, we went to Shanxi with their energy bureau and some corporations. We have noticed that Shanxi is also very energy intensive. So we focused on how to reduce their carbon emission. So more or less, they have demand. And during 2030 to 2060, the Chinese government has promised to reduce the carbon. So, and from last week, we, together with Hebei Gangtie, we explore a new demonstration pilot to collaborate with their technical pathways. And in July, we will talk more about how we can work together to combine the technology with their innovation, especially in Zhangxun Keji from Zhangjiakou, from their technical ways to make hydrogen and then into steel and make layout for green energy and some low carbon plant for sustainable demonstration area. So in this chain, we play the role as consultants. How can we connect international companies with the local companies? Because international companies are good at innovation.
我们讲民营企业也好，中央企业也好。
Whether it is SOE or SME, we can have relocalization and re-innovation. That is why this kind of capability from multinational companies, from 0 to 1, from re-localization to re-innovation. They can be reintegrated with local scenarios. We can create a high-quality zero-carbon campus. That is why, in terms of ESG and long-term sustainability, by 2050, we need to achieve carbon neutrality. However, in China, in terms of the different scenarios, especially 2030 is approaching from last year, and CEPA, some tariff challenges when we go global. We are also trying to coordinate with each other. In terms of green and sustainable ESG, we hope that we can improve our own capability. We can have more commitment. And in China, we should also think about how we can work with domestic scenario. And you can also employ the policies by the Chinese government. And then we can have the carbon, capital-based and the scenario-based development. Thanks to their exploration, and you can see the whole process. We can benefit a lot.
的放眼一下行业的未来，其实要说预判这件事情是挺难的。预判有
We can also think about how to predict the future. Based on the real practice, in terms of the future energy supply chain, what is the landscape? The new ecosystem of the future energy supply chain. What kind of new landscape will be presented? The first one to conclude during the 15th five-year plan, thanks to the leadership of the central government in terms of 6 industries and the multinational companies' continued investment in China, we can have more synergy. And today we're talking about more than energy, green energy, clean energy, and development. We are also looking at AI, and we're also looking at the development of China and some leading technology by China in this new era. And we hope that we can manage our own work, and more multinational companies can come to China with more investment and a more localized factory, and more high-quality technology can come to China. Second, we hope that we can work with top-notch private and companies and SOEs to expand into global market. Yesterday, I visited some of our own companies. We have been thinking about how to deal with competition here. We cannot get more profits. However, if we can go global, profits will be enormous. However, globally, we need to look at the environment and the challenges abroad. We have about 420 branches across 75 countries and regions. Yesterday, I have been talking to one company to look at how we can do business in South Africa and in East Europe. Overseas market is broad enough. We hope that you can provide a better economic value, and at the same time, Chinese companies can go global and make more money. Whole life cycle issue, and in terms of energy, it's not simply about one link. It's about the whole life cycle. Second, we should look at the whole industrial chain support from each other, and in terms of the devices, equipment, and system, and the comprehensive energy planning. We should also dream the future, dream bigger, and aim higher. And we have one important company in Indonesia. They focus on ESG. When they go listed, they hope that they can gain reputation and gain the benefit from 12 million USD consumption to 0. They have the primary energy advantage. It is an island. They have the seawater and PV and wind energy that can be used. Secondary energy, power generation technology was a little bit backward, and the vapor utilization was not very efficient. Third part, tertiary energy, the vapor system. They use vapor to heat and then cool and reheat and recool. This is new set of new vapor system can save 70%. Primary, secondary, and tertiary energy can be used, and you can dream big, and you can do that and embrace the new energy to achieve zero carbon. And I hope that in the future we can work together and we can have more interaction. We need to avoid the barriers and the bottlenecks, and they have showcased the user mindset, how they can create value for the users and how they can save cost to design the whole set of solutions. To put it simply, as long as we come to the supply chain expo, we have the mission to promote China and European enterprises connection, and we hope that more European practice and technology can come to China, and Chinese technology can also be brought to China, and we will look at how we can work with the European Chamber of Commerce and how to work with the energy department of different embassies here in China, and then we can empower the whole industry here. We hope that some new innovation can be created to influence next decade. I firmly believe energy sector is more bright than AI. Energy is the important track that can bring AI digitalization to other sectors. We can create more value. We hope that Alpha level can enjoy more success, and you can achieve the two-way communication. Carbon is a challenge. We can provide some thinking. And you can see the theme here. We can have the consensus. At this moment and in the future, let's look at the linear chain to complex ecosystem. And you can see in this kind of ecosystem, as Mr. Wang has mentioned, from delivery of products to delivery of system, and then you can see the user experience. And then the user factors have also been changed from the resources-driven to data-driven. We have been mentioning AI and devices, in smart intelligent devices, and AI agent, and intelligent platform. Sometimes, if you simply rely on manual work, You cannot achieve 100%, and sometimes you need to look at when to generate power, when to distribute power, and you can think about how to match your energy storage. And the manual era is over. We should have the factors coordination. For example, if I have the parameters from the energy administration, and we have the raw material prices, and you can see at this time frame we have the dominant power. However, in this dominant era and complex industrial chains, you should look at the data. What kind of resources and energy you can use, what kind of load you can use, and the energy consumption of the users also crucial. This is important for us to serve the customers. In this environment, how can we seize the opportunities? It's not about we should run fast. At the same time, we should carry our ecosystem partners with us. For example, we can work with the ecosystem partners and co-build zero carbon factory and a green factory and a campus. Supply chain management can be extended into the partners. That is why when we define ourselves as the ecosystem open platform with electric devices and equipment, it can be the general interface with engineering EPC. We can drive the whole sector with digital and smart O&M, and we can create a long-term customer relationship and connection, integration, and synergy. The complex system can be simplified. Energy conservation and emission reduction can be calculated, and the road for our partners can be smooth enough. These are the new opportunities for us. Our company would like to work with all of you to jointly build the ecosystem and enjoy the shared future. You can also visit our booth. Thank you. Last but not least, Mr. Cai. We have been behind schedule. I want to be very brief. From the first part, in terms of the energy status quo, green power, the wind power, wind energy, and the solar energy, solar power, we have been ranking among top in the whole world. If we want to dream big, let's look at nuclear power and sea power and the seawater power. For the nuclear power, the total capacity is 5% of the total power generation. When we achieve carbon neutrality, we can achieve 18%. This is future planning. Nuclear power can also bring some new opportunities to us. We are also talking about the ocean energy. It has been used very few. It has not been fully developed and fully used because the whole world is large enough. 70.8% of the whole land is covered by ocean. We get energy from the sky, from the land, but we didn't get enough energy from the ocean. This is a new track for us, and we're also deploying our business across nuclear power and ocean power. You can also visit our booth to talk about the future possibilities of cooperation. And you should manage your own business very well. Our products should be energy conservation based, and we can create more value and more solutions for our customers. You should be down to earth and down to thematic, based on which we can dream big for the future, and then we can create a controllable, self-proprietary, safe and sound supply chain for the energy sector. Thank you to all of the guests. Thank you for sharing with us the energy supply chain, upgrading, and the future possibilities. Dear friends, dear leaders, the energy session is concluded here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. For relevant documents, you can also scan the QR code here to download some documents. Thank you to our partners, ICBC and the Bank of China, China Agricultural Bank, and China Communication Bank, as well as CISCE. Thank you. Have a nice day.
们，再会。